The girl ends the video moments later, blissfully unaware of the man behind her, who is now out of sight. If you slow the footage down, you can actually see that the figure is walking backwards toward the camera.
That's crazy.
This would be incredibly hard to pull off if it is indeed a hoax. The erratic movements of the girl would make it difficult to hide someone the entire shot.
That's crazy.
Since going live, the video has racked up 11 million views, with thousands of comments speculating on who the old man might be. Theories range from a ghost to a stalker to a friend who helped stage the video. Mary Liz 9 has since posted a video update in which she insists the video isn't staged and that she doesn't know who the person was.
The video wasn't staged. I really don't know who the guy in the back was. I wasn't around the parking garage. I was with my sister. It was just kind of a strange experience.
She does, however, think that the man might have managed to walk away when she went to pick up her phone after the dance had ended and just didn't notice the person behind her.
What?
Ghost, coincidence,
and how the fuck?
Entirely. Love to get your thoughts on this one in the comment section below.
That shit crazy.
This historical photo from Getty appears normal at first glance. However, a viewer with personal ties to one of the figures in the photo noticed something that led to one of the previous ghost sightings in Ireland. The photo in question was taken over 100 years ago. It shows several young women who worked in a linen factory. They posed with their arms crossed, wearing the traditional garments that such factory workers regularly donned a century ago. The photo was published to an Irish website as part of a gallery of old photos. A woman named Linda commented on the photo, stating that one of the girls was her grandmother, Ellen Donnelly. Her father has the same photo in his home, and the family's been speculating about it for years. So what has the family so interested in this photo? If you look closely at Linda's grandmother on the far right in the second row down, on the girl's shoulder just in front of her, you might notice something odd. An unexplained hand gripping at her right shoulder.
I'm dead. I'm dead,
On her
nigga.
left, who the hand could belong to, and all of the other girls have their arms tightly crossed.
Oh, Lord, she
Fingers
done
on her
killed
hands
me.
seem to be digging into the woman's shoulder, so she certainly would have noticed if it hadn't been a human hand.
You know, humans iterated that.
It's
Not digging, it's just kind of like if I got my arm around you, like, yeah, girl.
This is evidence of a century
You know what I'm saying?
ghost.
How we know she ain't have hand shoulder? You know what I'm saying?
Uploaded by YouTube user CH3 Thailand, this next clip captures something frightening from the dash cam.
He's got a hand on the shoulder perimeter. In front of it.
As the car drives down an empty highway, a figure seems to materialize out of nowhere. Continuing on, the car seems to pass right through the mysterious
Real
figure.
shit.
This video gained a fair bit of media attention in Thailand, where it was captured. After being shared on social media, the video was picked up by a Thai English language news outlet. Strange videos like these reach peak levels of speculation when they broach the mainstream, and this one is no different.
We're ready to do it.
A fair amount of skepticism, with some viewers asserting that the figure was simply the result of a reflection on the window.
Kiss my ass. There ain't no damn reflection. There wasn't no
However,
reflection.
certain viewers
There wasn't
find
no
it
reflection.
unlikely that a window reflection could so accurately show a person standing up straight and unmoving in the middle of the road in such a way.
How can the reflection on the window
If it was
pick up the niggas in the road and not in the car?
highway,
You should be standing right on the
They
dashboard,
managed
right?
to pass right through the driving vehicle and disappeared without a trace.
You're so full of shit.
YouTuber Prosperous uploaded this clip to the site way back in June 2006, and many believe it to be some of the strongest evidence of the existence of ghosts to date. The footage is said to have been captured by the Atlantic Paranormal Society while they were investigating the Eastern State Penitentiary in Pennsylvania, a prison often thought to be haunted. Although the clip is brief, it does appear to show some sort of hooded figure walking towards the camera. It then looks as though the figure notices that it's being filmed and quickly moves away.
No, it's a barrier to see.
As the Eastern State Penitentiary is often
There
reported
was
to be
like a
haunted
barrier
with
there.
supernatural activity,
You did towards it.
paranormal researchers believe that the figure seen in this video is indeed a ghost, and some have even likened its appearance to the Grim Reaper. So what do you think? Does this creepy clip actually show proof of a ghost roaming this haunted prison?
A
Or is
Grim
there
Reaper.
another explanation for the mysterious figure? Love to get your thoughts on this one in the comment section below.
I wonder who said, yeah, that has resemblance to the Grim Reaper.
First appeared on Live League several years ago. It shows a girl singing for the camera alongside her sister when a series of unsettling events begin to occur. First, the door behind them slowly opens.
Hey, who is that singing?
The girl on the left hears it creaking and turns around. However, the other girl is too engrossed in her song to notice. Then, suddenly, a bottle of water is pushed off the desk just before the door violently
Yeah, stop all
slams
that,
shut.
that goddamn
The
singing.
girls look visibly shaken as they scream for their dad and run from the room. While it's certainly some very unnerving footage, the clip has been met with
I
mixed
bet you-
reactions, as several viewers have noted
Yeah.
that there's a striking similarity.
The bottle of
to a
water is
photo
knocked
shared
off and the
from
door
months earlier that featured
Behind
two
it,
Australian girls.
I'm not going out the door.
Their video, a bottle of water,
Because that
also
means
flies
it's out
across the
there.
room as the door
I'm not
slams
going out there
shut
with the bitch
behind
just
them.
went. The fuck?
Even if this video is a fake, the two girls genuinely appear to be afraid.
It's like
Full joke played out by their
it's like the
parents.
ghost came in and said, "Stop all this stupid ass singing." Can't sing, and he like knocked the bottle of water off and then shut the door. That's what it looked like. It's
This
like
family photo was uploaded to Reddit in 2013. It caused quite a stir as users scrambled to explain the mysterious details of the photograph.
Yo, who had
The post, titled "Extra Hand in
Yeah,
My
what about
Family
that,
Photo
dude?
from
you
2000,"
people got
shows
hand
five
shoulder,
family
nigga.
members posing for a nice family photo. The chilling thing is, if you look at the dad's right shoulder, there's an extra hand. Every member of the family has their hands accounted for, but for some creepy reason, there's an extra hand perched on the dad's shoulder. The poster claims that he's the boy in the middle and was at a loss to explain the image. "I'm the kid with braces in the picture, and I can honestly say that is not my hand. My parents' house is crazy haunted," he said. The poster goes on to say that one summer he snuck into the front yard to have a cigarette when a full-bodied apparition appeared in the garden. He was so frightened he could barely move. Fellow Redditors analysed the image and on the whole were at a loss to explain the strange occurrence. Some keen-eyed viewers noted that the sleeve of the boy in the middle runs out of shot, which could allow him to reach around and create the illusion of an extra.
That's what I said.
While this could be the case, the poster insisted several times in follow-up comments that it's not a hoax and that the image is 100% genuine. So what do you think, real or fake? Love to hear your opinions on this one in the
In
comment
them
section
instances
below.
right there, yeah, I'm fat as fuck. In them instances right there,
Let's keep
I
things
believe
off with one of
whoever
those
hand they
ghost
be on,
sightings going around the internet.
they killed
Two
that person.
security
That's
guards
how I
are
feel
doing a
about it.
routine check of a Brazilian hospital. When they reach the basement to lock up the morgue for the night, they hear something banging in the distance.
And
For
I'm
some
gonna go
reason,
down
the
there and
lights
see what the fuck it is. That's your goddamn man.
A small red door can be seen on the wall. It rhythmically bangs into the wall over and over.
Would have been time I would have turned my
Gradually,
ass
the two
around. What they
guards
got
make
to
their way to
do?
the door when it suddenly stops banging.
Nope.
Then, as they
That
get
means it's
close
coming
enough to
towards
inspect
me.
the door, the lights switch off, plunging them into complete darkness.
No.
Eventually,
I would've
the
been
lights come back
in the
on,
parking
and there
lot.
appears to be no explanation for the swinging door.
He
As
gonna
they
go over
take
there
a
and
look
check
at
the door.
cabinet,
Bitch, it
another
was just
strange
swinging by
screaming
itself.
noise begins further down the hallway. Unfortunately, the clip ends abruptly, and we get no resolution. No one has been able to explain this eerie video.
How about the
Some
security
social
guard that was
media
over there
viewers thought it
touching
to be
me?
a hoax, noting that the lights turned off conveniently to edit out whatever it was making the door swing. Some thought there was no way it could have been faked, hailing it as evidence of a poltergeist haunting the morgue. Others didn't care whether it was real or fake and just enjoyed it for the chilling clip that it is. What are your thoughts about this creepy video? Let us know in the comments section below.
That y'all didn't tell us what happened to the security guard over there touching the damn.
There's
Oh,
very little
Jesus.
information available about this photo, other than the person who took it was horrified when they saw the black figure standing behind the two children.
I bet you.
Some believe
That nigga, he live in your house.
Others think it might be some sort of dark spirit that has somehow attached itself to the children. Looking at the photo, the figure really doesn't appear to be a normal
I'll put it
person
like this
at all.
right here.
Not even one.
If they're making
Cuts
edited
across them.
shots like this,
They really do look
they
like
wrong
a
as fuck.
shadow
Why would you
themselves.
put that behind
The
your?
only visible feature is their eyes that can really peer out from the darkness. While it's unclear what actually happened after this photo was taken, if the mysterious figure was still standing there when the children turned around, they would have surely received a terrible fright.
Is that what they were receiving? They would have shit the pants and have therapy for the rest of their life? That's wrong with them.
Not all spirits who show up in old family photos have benevolent intentions. Sometimes the ghosts who pop up in photos clearly have more hateful motivations. This particular photo was snapped in Alabama in 1942. It depicts a young couple shortly after their wedding ceremony. The two are all smiles, clearly reveling in the bliss of their recent nuptials. However, if you look closely at the tree just behind the bride's left shoulder, someone appears to be objecting to the union. Behind the bride appears a terrifying spirit. Her mouth is open wide in a
God damn!
in anger. One arm reaches out towards the couple.
Yeah, like, I
while the other
can't
is raised
believe
as if in
you married
preparation
this
to
wench
strike
here.
the newlyweds.
She
No
was
one
going
has
to get her
ever
ass.
hazarded a guess as to the identity of this malevolent spirit, who seemed to wish the happy couple harm on the happiest day of their lives.
She a harlot.
The owner of this pizzeria in Tampa, Florida, believes something supernatural is happening in his store.
If it was, it ain't
In
now.
2017, he began experiencing
God
unusual
damn.
events that couldn't quite be explained. He would often open his store in the morning to find things had been moved and objects lying on the ground. Then, one evening in August, his security camera captured something creepy on film. As the owner locks up for the night and closes the front door to leave, a small jar flies off the countertop. At the same time, what looks to be a solid shaker moves off the table. This footage appears to confirm the store owner's suspicions, as numerous objects move around the room seemingly on their own. Is this pizzeria haunted? Later that month, more footage was released showing objects moving, this time right in front of someone. In this clip, a bike squad driver, similar to Uber Eats, comes into the store to pick up a delivery order. As he's waiting for the food, a green box of soda cans flies off the table, startling the delivery boy.
Wait, a
Similar
green
to
box
the
of
first
soda
clip, a
cans. Wouldn't
second
that be
object
Sprite?
moves at the same time. If you look to the left of screen, a pen falls off a box in the corner. What could be causing these objects to move on their own? Could it simply be a publicity stunt, or is this pizza store haunted? In October 2012, Angel Ruiz uploaded this terrifying clip to YouTube.
What the fuck was
It shows
that?
two young children as they sit eating a snack at a small table. One of the girls points to the darkened room in front of her and says that she can see something. She's clearly troubled by whatever
She
it
didn't say
is,
see
keeps
somebody.
insisting that something's there.
She said, see something.
Her friend, or perhaps sister, finds the whole thing rather amusing and attempts to spook her further. Even the woman filming tries to reassure the girl that there's nothing there. Despite this, she becomes increasingly
She
upset.
said, you got your goddamn mind. There is
The girl
something there.
eventually is driven to tears and
Look.
runs to the woman's side. While the video is unsettling up until this point, it's what happens next that was sure to give you chills. The girl, who's still sitting at the table, decides to take another look in the darkened room. Suddenly, she lets out a blood-curdling scream and shoots and runs towards the woman. While it's not clear what it was that the girl saw in the darkness, it was obviously enough to send them both running in fear.
Whatever it was, you gave me
What
chills.
was that spooked these girls so
That
badly?
girl jumped.
Would there have been a ghost lurking in the darkness? Or is it more likely
Whatever the
to
fuck
be a
she
spooky
seen, that
shadow
scared
that's
the
running?
shit out of
I'd love
her.
to get your thoughts on this one in the comment section below.
I gotta go downstairs, y'all.
Now, if you're enjoying our longer compilations, then check out
Tell
that
you
one on the
what,
top
if anybody
there.
ever come up in this
Otherwise, there's a massive paranormal playlist here you can binge on for hours and hours. Leave us a comment down below, pulverize that thumbs up button as usual. And that's it for me. I'll see you all next time.
Alright, cool.
How you doing? I'm Callan, and this is Slap Ham. So it's nearly the end of the year, and what an absolute shit show it's been. To celebrate this monster of a year, we're looking back at some of the scariest clips that have come out in 2020. So sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Being buried alive has been a common fear for centuries. The dread of premature burial was so prevalent in the 18th and 19th centuries that many people were buried in safety coffins. These coffins were built so that a string could be threaded through the top of the coffin. One end of the string was attached to the corpse's finger, and the other end to a bell suspended above the grave. This would allow the interred person to ring the bell if they woke up in their own grave, alerting nearby people that they were still alive. The following footage featured on the Daily Mail's website seems to prove a fear of premature burial is perfectly justified even today. The video shows terrifying footage of a burial service in Indonesia. In the short clip, a group of mourners stands around an open grave. Down in the dirt, the body's being interred in a casket fitted with a glass panel, allowing mourners to see inside. At a telling moment in the service, the priest recites a passage from the Bible, reading, "I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me, he will live, even though he is dead." As he speaks these words, a hand seems to reach towards the glass panel from inside the coffin. A moment later, the hand appears to wave at the mourners standing beside the grave. Some viewers believed that the movement was most likely caused by a rodent trapped inside the coffin. Others cited scientific evidence of corpses moving after death because of post-mortem muscle
So there's some
spasms.
rats in this nigga coffin making them wave his hand.
The movement of the hand looked far too deliberate.
When rats start doing shit like that.
Could this terrifying footage be documentation of a modern-day premature burial?
I'm gonna go with,
A lot of people are working and attending school online these days, but meetings and classes don't usually yield scary videos. At least that's what Twitter user Freddy Giza thought. The teacher claimed to be alone in his recently purchased home in Nuevo Leon, Mexico, while teaching the class. Yet the students attending seemed to think that something else was present that day. The teacher is presenting against a blank wall with a doorway just behind his left shoulder. It's this doorway that becomes the center of attention when a pale face seems to peek into the room.
Look
A pale young woman with dark hair.
like a little boy.
The teacher glances over his shoulder several times but is unable to see the creepy entity. At one point, he closes the door to end the distraction that the stranger entity is causing. Towards the end of the video, he moves the camera around the house to show that he's alone except for his dog. Some of the students who watched the video think it was staged, but others are certain that it was a real ghost attending class that day. What do you think that strange face is? An accomplice, a real ghost, or something else entirely? Love to get your thoughts on this one in the comment section below. Abandoned hospitals and other places where the sick and dying meet their ends are popular locations for scary videos. In this exploration by YouTubers Finders Beepers History Seekers, they visit a
Finders Beepers
care
History
home.
Seekers.
According to the stories about the place, it would seem the elderly residents who lived at the facility had a difficult time during their residence there. The facility was reportedly shut down because of widespread accusations of abuse, neglect, and deplorable living conditions. Given the history of the building, it's unsurprising that numerous ghost hunters have found their way to this building.
that this place was eventually shut down for a catalogue of these. It was really terrible. Some of the people were classed as being put in cells, their rooms were that bad, they were locked away, ignored.
The investigators take their time moving through the building, examining the rundown state of the place, a perfect setting for a ghost hunt.
Machines were massacring time all over the air. Imagine people being locked up down here.
At one point, they find a logbook containing complaints issued by visitors who are horrified by the conditions their relatives were living in.
And the people got shot towards the end of the building. All I counted them had a wild expression in their eyes. How did psychopath coming in?
As they head to the second floor of the building, the investigators are surprised by an unexpected visitor, a shadow figure walking across the top of the stairs.
You see us again. Hello.
It only appears for a second before disappearing into the shadows. But then, when the men reach the floor where the shadow vanished, they discover that there's nothing but a wall. This indicates that nothing corporeal could have caused the mysterious shadow. If you slow the footage down, you can indeed see a solid shape moving at the top of the stairs. Could a former resident be lingering in the place where they met their end? Or is it just a homeless person evading detection? Love to get your opinions on this one in the comments section below.
Hello. Noticed you were stuck in Shanghai for a year. I wasn't being held captive. I chose.
TikToker Noah.VQ captured this eerie video. As a security guard on an empty floor of a hospital, he wasn't expecting to see anything weird while on the job late at night. However, this eerie piece of footage seems to show a creepy shadow figure hanging out in one of the empty rooms. This security guard was working the night shift when he thought he heard some strange noises. The hospital where he works is fairly empty, and the floor that he was assigned to was totally deserted. If he was completely alone on the floor, it makes sense that he'd be a little uneasy hearing unexplained sounds. He quickly takes out his camera to hopefully capture evidence of his mysterious visitor. He walks down the hallway, slowly peering into each room that he passes. Unfortunately, one of the rooms doesn't look as empty as the others.
She lives atop the mountain. Which one?
As he passes the room in question, the camera captures a shadow that appears to be looking out a window. At first, the security guard continues down the hall. When his brain has had time to process what he saw, he slowly returns to the room for another peek. By the time he returns, the shadow is gone. Some people who have seen the video believe it was most likely a hoax with an accomplice. However, several security guards have spoken up, insisting that guards rarely get company on their shifts. Others are certain that the footage captured a real shadow creature, a specific type of spirit that lurks in the shadows, tricking witnesses into questioning their own perceptions of reality. Some hypothesize that this is the spirit of someone who died in this very room. Regardless of who the spirit is, its appearance in the video is downright terrifying.
Awesome. Can you teach me how to do that?
Posted to the 444 page on Facebook, this video was shared to us by the owner of the page herself, Shannon Courtright. Shannon explains that the video features her own sister, Robin Pagan, as well as her sister's friend, Katie. As the two were playing a drinking game and filming themselves, the group happened to capture what appears to be a rare supernatural event. Early in the video, Katie points out a cup moving in front of Robin. However, as the cup is out of Robin and the camera's view, she immediately dismisses it. After playing the game on camera for several minutes, the pair leave the view of the shot. Moments later, the cup seems to move all on its own.
You banged white flower, I made love to white flower.
It repeats this motion several times throughout the video.
The Golden Sheen Forest, yes. Actually, right near the slapping tree, which may or may not have come in.
At one point, the curtain slowly shifts by itself.
You were okay with Marshall having an affair.
Happens in the magical Golden Sheen Forest stays in the magical Golden Sheen Forest.
Disgusting, my friend.
The startling thing about this footage is that Katie moves and flips the cup numerous times while playing the game.
Deep, deep. Can you think of anyone?
The source footage is all one continuous shot. This would make it extremely difficult to host the event. There can't be string attached to the cup because it gets flipped several times. There also can't be magnets attached either.
Moving on.
It's evident while watching the video that the people aren't aware of this paranormal activity occurring around them. It's not until the video was watched back that they spotted it. Shannon explains that the next day the girls saw that a lamp with lampshade had fallen over and flown across the living room. Even more weirdly, a speaker kept turning on, despite the fact that it wasn't plugged in. The final straw for the girls was when something seemed to gently lift Katie's hair into the air. Concerned due to the string of supernatural events, the two went back and watched this video from the previous night, now aware they had started capturing their very own scary ghost videos. The paranormal events of the following day, combined with the odd action seen in this video, were enough to convince the pair that they were hosts to at least one unexpected guest. With this myriad of odd activities all in a row, one has to wonder just how safe the two could feel while staying in that home.
I can see from the one who's called the calligrapher in the far-off mystical land of Cleveland.
A TikTok user named BetsAndAngel69 shares one of the most compelling TikTok ghost videos of all time. This is actually a series of videos documenting some strange activity. Let's dive into what can only be described as a front yard haunting saga. TikTok user BetsAndAngel69 begins with a video showing what appears to be a figure pacing back and forth in a grassy, wooded patch of land that's across the street from her house.
Will I? Grammar is the first step on the 1,000-mile journey to accuracy. I'm assuming there's no Mrs. the calligrapher.
We then get an update the next day. The ghost figure is still pacing. However, this time we can see an outline of a figure much more clearly.
Also, I'm sorry.
According to the uploader, whoever or whatever is out there had been walking back and forth non-stop.
34.
You see it? It just keeps back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
The woman sharing the video skips ahead to the 5th day of the strange activity. We get some interesting information regarding the sighting in this video. It turns out that the patch of land where the figure can be spotted is actually adjacent to a church building that is located directly across the street from the uploader's house.
And I was explaining.
Again, the creepy shadow figure can be seen pacing back and forth.
Just walks back and forth every day, all day.
The update we get from the 5th video is that the figure continues to pace back and forth daily. We also learn that BetsAndAngel69 has actually walked over to the area where the figure can be seen pacing, trying to confront it. However, she claims that the figure disappears once you get close to the area. She even promises to record herself making the trek over there in the next video. So what happens? This after dark footage shows the uploader's dog acting up, barking and howling toward the area where the figure paces. The dog is very clearly agitated.
If only that were true. You committed a murder.
In the next video, BetsAndAngel69 actually takes us on a walk over to the grassy area, where a strange figure can be seen pacing.
Because of the tragedy, I never got to finish my training. I never learned.
Unfortunately, this proves to be one of the more anticlimactic videos. That's because BetsAndAngel69 gets scared before deciding to return to her house. However, she does point out that you can still see the figure pacing. Things get a little more dramatic after that. The TikTok user shares a few videos where she simply explains her decision to upload videos of the shadow figure to get feedback from friends and family regarding what's going on. She also shares that she initially thought the pacing figure might be a person with a mental illness. However, she eventually began to wonder if something more sinister could be taking place after the figure paced for hours, days, and weeks at a time.
Hours and hours, days and days, day or night, that's a long time.
She also shares that her husband has agreed to walk over to investigate the situation with her. And that's precisely what we see in the next set of videos. The two decide to walk over to investigate the pacing figure once and for all. However, they get a scare they weren't quite anticipating. They're scared off by a horrifying sound that clearly didn't come from any human source.
New series this Thursday at 9 Central, only on the CW.
They make the very smart decision to run away. However, this saga is far from over. We then see a video of a cop car parked in the parking lot of the church. The TikTok user claims that the police are investigating the situation because they're aware that something is going on. However, she declines to show footage of the cops walking over to the area to protect their privacy. For skeptics, this does open up the possibility that the police car was merely parked in the lot for a completely unrelated reason. That's exactly why Bets and Angel 69 posted another video addressing common questions and doubts. First, Bets and Angel 69 answers some questions she had received about what she might be hiding. Some internet users claim that she's blocking those who cast doubt on her experiences. However, her rebuttal is that she's been forced to block some users who have posted her address online. She even claims that Google Maps that highlight the specific location of her home have been posted online.
The few people that I've had to block, they posted my address on social media. Somebody pulled up a Google map of my home.
She does invite people who are already familiar with the area to investigate on their own if they already know where the church is located. In fact, she encourages people to visit the church to try and figure out exactly what's going on. Her only issue is that she doesn't want her address posted publicly. That seems like a reasonable enough justification for deleting some of the comments. So does Bets and Angel think what she is seeing is a ghost or a human? She reveals she has no clue about what the figure could be. However, she shares her personal opinion that the family members of whoever the person is need to intervene. That's if it is indeed a human. She's concerned that the person pacing back and forth has been doing so for more than a month without apparently changing clothes or eating. She does think it's possible that it's a homeless person who has taken up residence in the church parking lot. However, the fact that the pacing figure doesn't appear to take breaks to eat, sleep, or use the bathroom causes her to wonder. The saga still isn't over. We get yet another video update from Bets and Angel 69. This time, she's sharing a terrifying experience from the night before. The creepiness started when her dog went crazy at about 11 p.m. However, the family went to bed after not being able to hear or see anything out in the yard that could be causing the dog to act up. A peaceful night was not in store. The family was jolted awake somewhere between the hours of 1 a.m. and 2 a.m. by the sound of a man screaming. This is where we learn that they actually have security cameras in place around their property. The footage shows a very still, calm night with no intruders in sight.
A man just screaming.
However, there is something very odd on the screen that would have been captured at around 2 a.m. A mist appears on the screen.
Does they see that? What is that?
Bets and Angel 69 claims it's the exact moment she and her family heard the screaming.
What is that? It's like, and I know it's this moment that it happens because in about a second.
Unfortunately, that's about as far as the saga goes for now. We can only assume that the shadow figure is still out there pacing. Apparently, the family is setting up a YouTube channel to document the case more thoroughly, so it's worth keeping an eye out for that. Of course, Bets and Angel 69 can only hope that whoever or whatever is keeping watch from across the street doesn't get bold enough to come so close ever again. Twitter user Conspiration ESP uploaded this terrifying footage captured by CCTV camera. A bizarre figure has visited this residence late one night, and it has viewers seriously questioning their perception of reality. In scary recordings captured from a variety of cameras, we see a creepy person or creature running on all fours around the property. The camera never captures close-ups of the figure, but it appears to be a cross between a human and a dog. The entity moves on all fours like a canine, but when it comes closer to the camera, its body appears to be that of a human. Its skin is hairless and pale, but its head seems to be darker in colour. Because of the appearance of the creature's body, some are apt to believe that it's simply a human running naked through the night on all fours. However, the way it moves seems to rule out that possibility. The human body is built to walk upright, and no human could easily run with such speed and agility on all fours. There are other eerier possibilities that explain these scary recordings. Perhaps this is a human, but one possessed by some sort of animalistic demon. Another possibility is that the recordings show a lesser-known cryptid called the Dogman. This creature, much like a werewolf, is a cross between a human and a canine. Unlike werewolves, dogmen live permanently in their in-between state. Over the years, there have been numerous sightings of the so-called Dogman. Although witnesses have been terrified by the encounters, none have been harmed by this elusive cryptid. So whatever theory you believe, human, dogman, or demon, they're all just as terrifying as each other. Love to get your thoughts on this one in the comments section below. Captured by a man from Maine named Chet Cook and sent to The Sun, this video has effectively stumped paranormal investigators. Cook appears to be driving along a perfectly average stretch of road. However, the footage quickly shows a mysterious black shape scurrying across the street just in front of Cook's car. Not appearing to be corporeal in any way, the substance in Cook's video appears more like a shadow than a person. Cook said he felt a nagging feeling to review the dashcam footage when he got home. While Cook explains he reviewed the footage expecting to see a deer run across the road, he instead saw the strange black shape. Working in IT, Cook had a fairly good idea that it wasn't a camera malfunction that had led to this figure. He was fairly positive he hadn't actually seen anything in front of his car that night. So spooked, Cook sent the footage off to a paranormal team in order to conduct their own investigation. Instead, the crazy dashcam footage stumped the investigative team. They noted that an animal wouldn't have appeared so transparent. As for Cook, he explained to the Sun news outlet that those who live in Maine are generally used to creepy sightings, and that there's a reason a lot of Stephen King's stories are based there. So what do you think this strange black mass is? Deer or something more sinister? Love to get your opinion on this one in the comment section below. If we are in a simulation, TikTok might be the best place to look for proof. This hot new social media app allows users to upload their own videos and set them to music. In this video by TikToker Catherine Gisellum, a group of kids and teens participate in one of the hottest TikTok trends, showing off your amateur dance moves. When the music first starts, all that's visible in the shot is a large field behind a fence. Then the group of kids enter from behind the camera and crisscross across the screen to take their positions. Once they're in formation, they begin their silly dance. On first glance, nothing in the video seems out of the ordinary. However, if you watch closely, you'll see that one of the dancers seems to have appeared out of thin air. The first kids to enter the shot are two girls. They walk closely together, but there's enough space between their arms for us to see that there's no one walking in front of them. However, when a few more kids join the mix, a boy in a blue shirt suddenly pops up in front of the first two girls. He If you slow the footage down, you can see the boy in the blue shirt just seems to appear out of thin air.